Time to check out the latest batch of underground metal from the audience, some of which are from their own bands. Let's start with Deathless and the Clairvoyant. That's loud. Some Black Dahlia Murder vibes from the riffs already. It's a Nashville, Tennessee band. I used to live in Memphis for a while. 5 years. Digging the riffs. Like modern melodic death metal. A little bit of symphonic element too. Oh yeah. I would be shocked if these guys are not fans of the Black Dahlia Murder. I feel like even the vocal performance, right down to the like, it's trying to do Trevor. Triumphant melodic leads, kind of Death Clock vibes there. This is dope. It's albums like this, again, that make me wish I didn't already have so much music to include on my like best of the month list, because it was just too much. This is super rad. Production's really solid. Solid dynamics. Yeah, this thing's like a banger. Just a little drum intro there. There's the boys, there's the album cover. Had their own little twist too with those more like kind of melodic moments. Sounds super duper rad. Yeah, you Black Dahlia Murder fans, be sure to check out Deathless with the Clairvoyants. Moving on, we have Rain with Foul Territory of Chicago, Illinois, where I grew up. Although someone's going to be like, was it actually in Chicago? No, it was the northwest suburbs. But I did live in the city during my entire time in college. So like 6 years. They're a little thrashy. Getting some kind of power trip vibes. I like the reverb on this guitar. Gives it a little bit more of a retro feel, which is also something power trip would do sometimes. More good production. A little gang vocal moment there. Ooh, that's fun. Put some thought into those vocal cadences. I love stuff like that. Like, I hate lazy vocals, and this is not that. Like, when people just come in and just like, and they're just like randomly screaming, I'm like, I can't stand it. Treat your voice like an instrument. It deserves just as much care as everything else. Yeah, a good mix of like atmosphere and just solid hooks. Yeah, another one where I could see this even, like, depending on how many thrash albums end up on my 2024 list, like, this is right up there in quality. And there hasn't been that much thrash yet, at least that I've listened to this year so far. It's still early, though. How about that Morbid Saint, though? That was a banger. Yeah, great guitar work. Loving every bit of this. Also, if you're new to this segment, we just sample things here. The whole point is to get you to want to go listen to the whole thing. Listen to that. So yeah, that is Rain with Foul Territory. Alright, we have Exa with Left in Shards out of Germany, Berlin to be exact. More thrash. This one a little bit more of an 80s vibe already. Solid guitar work again. I was sampling a little bit of this earlier, and I love everything about it, but it's just I'm having trouble putting my finger on it, but there's just something that feels missing. And it might be in the production, even though the production's fine. I think it's just missing some of that, like, live energy. But another solid thrasher in here. Solid dynamics, too. Some of these fun moments like this. Ooh, that's fun. You need those audience participation moments. That's what I call those. That's why I like gang vocals, too, because people tend to sing along to that in the crowd. Looks like we got some slower, kind of more atmospheric stuff on here, too. Yeah, sounds rad. Good day to be a thrash fan. That is Exa with Left in Shards. Then we have Cloven with Chance Encounter of Flesh and Nail out of Ontario. Cool cover. I gotta say, black background. Black background, orange text. You'd be surprised what a little bit of aesthetic on your Bandcamp page will do to get people more engaged. I'd say it's about the same as like a thumbnail. Self-driven, monuments of self-driven cruelty, death drive, and madness. I like that. A little industrial. Like industrial black metal a little bit. Solid drums, solid production. Very cavernous vibe. I get the sense, too, that this is probably a good, like, start-to-finish listen. It's probably better meant to be taken in that way, because another one I was kind of checking out little bits of this, and it felt very kind of just, I don't know, it's just like vibes. Some vibing music. There's some strings on here, too. Spooky. Good mix of textures. Actually, I think a little bit of like Oculus. But the industrial energy also is reminding me of that last album from that Irish black metal band with the Contortionist on the cover. But I'm, of course, blanking on their name again, even though I named them in my top 100 of the decade, and the CD's on the shelf behind me somewhere. Not that I could find it, because I can't remember their name right now. Yeah, sounds pretty rad. Good atmosphere-driven black metal, but not in like a repetitive, boring way, it seems like. So that is Cloven with Chance Encounter of Flesh and Nail. Then we have AI Suicide with Falls for the Elderly, which is... oh, other way around. Falls for the Elderly with AI Suicide. My bad. I love that band name, too, by the way. There's something very silly about that. Little Genty. It's out of London, Ontario. It's funny, they might be neighbors. Getting strong MySpace core energy. A head bobber. I like that it's not just like your standard kind of modern djent either. Again, it has that more kind of 2000s vibe to it. They describe themselves as progressive metalcore. Looks like some good variation in the pacing. BMX too. Playing with the guitar effects, too. I was like, that. It's not enough of that anymore. That's what I loved about early Incubus, that they just kind of abandoned in the later albums. So they used to play with so many effects pedals. Yeah, this part in particular is just like, this was the shit I was listening to probably the most in high school. And college to an extent, too, I'd say. Yeah, sounds rad. I'm gonna keep trying to convince the naysayers out there that there is good metalcore out there. And more variety than they would expect. It does not all sound like freaking falling in reverse. But yeah, that is Falls for the Elderly with AI Suicide. Alright, we have Dark Haven with 4 out of San Diego, California. I was amused to see this like dark type of music coming out of a place that's like bright sunshine, palm trees. But they do it. It's kind of like Three Teeth, too. Influential melodic death metal. Formed in 2004. Okay, I didn't realize this is a longer standing band. I'm honored that you would reach out to me then for this segment. A little ashamed that I'm not familiar with your music, considering what a melodeath fan I am, going back to about that time period. Some Soilwork vibes with how they're mixing the clean vocals and the harsh ones. A little bit more progressive flair too. The groove too. I think the vocals could be a little bit louder. Not too much, but just a little bit. Maybe it's slightly less bass in the mix too, if I'm nitpicking. I like these subtle synth elements that are coming in too. Oh, it's kind of doomier track there, it feels like. And then a little DB to follow it up. Yeah, good pace variation. This is a very In Flames sounding riff here too. Yeah, more good stuff. I dig it. Right up my alley. That is Dark Haven with 4. Alright, we have Æternum Sacro with Cielos prometidos, Cielos clandestinos. Which, interestingly, this is another German band, also out of Berlin, but Spanish title. As far as I can tell. I don't know what it means. Cielos sounds familiar. More atmospheric black metal, feels like. I've never been a fan of this approach of like the 4 songs that are all long. But again, sampling this one, it seemed like there's enough progression going on that it would probably stay engaging. I hate the endless repetition. Like, frankly, if you're just gonna repeat the same guitar line for like 10 minutes, I'm out. But as you can see here, every time I skip forward a minute or two, it's all something slightly different. Little death spell energy in there. A little Bluthaus Nord, maybe. A little doomier here, too. Very kind of malevolent vibes. I like this cover art, too. There's something very unsettling about it. It looks like those, like actual accurate depictions of angels that you'll see. Some kind of eerier vocals here. We got a 16+ minute track too. So you patient people, you people more patient than I are probably going to enjoy this even more, but seems pretty rad. Ooh, I like this riff too. It's kind of a toke riff. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Good drumming, too. I like it. It's got a little bit more of that sort of, like, organic drum sound to it that I appreciate. Yeah, Æternum Sacro, Cielos prometidos, Cielos clandestinos. Alright, we have Uragano with LP1. Very creative titling. Out of San Remo, Italy. And this is interesting because I'm not sure I've come across a Italian Screamo band, because that's what the Italian turbo scrams is what they say in their information, which I love. Yeah, post-hardcore scrams, Screamo. And say what you will, but I loved this stuff. Also in high school. I am not dedicated to any one genre. Love the energy of this. And that little, like, organ, there was like a Hammond organ, reminded me of Cursive, which was something I listened to a ton, especially the ugly organ. Listened to me a lot of stuff like that. But I like that it's in Italian too, which is kind of fun. It gives it a little bit of a little twist. And yeah, that little like Nintendo core vibe too. Yeah, seems like they'd be super fun live. Ooh. That was cool. Little start-stop moments, pick up again. Get aggressive. Yeah, seems like it would be fun to see this performed. I love stuff like this. Like, it's so fun. And I would strongly recommend, if you have not already, reach out to Mathcore Index. They are like... If you're looking to get eyes and ears on this type of music, anything that's remotely mathcore adjacent, that's their audience. Like, that's their entire audience. Unlike mine, that's more mixed. Probably don't mention my name, because we used to be friends. They don't like me anymore. They don't talk to me anymore. Long story. Not really anyone's business, and not really a big deal at this point. It's water under the bridge. But I still give them credit. Like, send this stuff their way if you have not, because I think they're going to eat this up. So yeah, that is Uragano with LP1. Alright, we have Announce the Apocalypse with Experience Machine. Okay. Out of Tampa, Florida. Florida man metal. Little sci-fi imagery here. What do we got here? Thrash and death metal. Which is good because, again, I haven't been getting as much thrash. Last year was such a stacked year for thrash, but death metal is just, like, overpowering everything right now again. A little doomy. Oh yeah, this was the one, so I was surprised you picked this as your default track, because it's, like, the least like your other songs, I feel like, because this is what they normally sound like. Faster, more aggressive, more death thrashy. So if I give one critique, I feel like you're a regular viewer because you took my advice here, or maybe you just already knew, not trying to credit myself too much, to match your color scheme to your album art. Always a good move. Love the aesthetics. Like, again, compare this to, where was that other one? This one. Like, it's just, you're much more likely to stay on this page, I feel like. But anyways, yeah, change the default track, because I feel like if I didn't know better and I heard that as the first track, I might click away, because I'm not really a Doom fan, and that felt very doomy. I like Fast and Ferocious, and you got...
Hi, honey. How was the rally?
Not now.
I want to know what that sound clip's from. But yeah, this is stuff I like, and it sounds awesome. Like, production solid, super aggressive, great guitar work. More of this. Yeah, put your best foot forward. It makes a huge difference. That's why I always try to, like, jump right into the content too. I don't want to bore people with an intro they ultimately don't really want to hear. Yeah, another one sounds cool. Glad to get some good aggressive thrash. That's Announce the Apocalypse with Experience Machine. Then we have Suddenly Seymour with Reflections, A Martyr I Shall Be. And this project, in case you didn't get the joke of Suddenly Seymour, is Little Shop of Horrors death metal. Also out of Florida. This is kind of Within the Ruins energy here. But yeah, all the songs, and they have multiple songs, seem to be centered around Little Shop of Horrors, which I love. I talk a lot here too about, like, how do you stand out? How do you fit in? Like, sometimes having a gimmick isn't a bad thing, and as long as the music is good, like, that's the bottom line. If your music is shit, then your gimmick's not going to get you anywhere. You can't just be a gimmick. But this makes me think of something like Necrogoblicon, where I really enjoy the music most of the time, and then they have a gimmick that, like, makes people remember who they are. I would go so far as, if you're not already, bring a damn full-size puppet out on stage to perform with you. Like, that shit would catch some attention. Yeah, this song's good, and then they got other songs you can find here too. This one's a little bit softer. I don't think I listened to this one yet, but yeah. Also, kind of remind me a little bit of Zilf. They even have a similar color scheme. Again, though, change your Bandcamp. Like, you've got this fun gimmick, like, do a black background with purple and bright green to match this. Got a slight new metal vibe in there too. But yeah, it seems pretty fun. I love stuff like this. Gimmicks aren't a bad thing as long as you have more to offer than just the gimmick. Like a guar. Yeah, that is Suddenly Seymour with a change in direction and all these other various tracks. Alright, y'all, again, we're experimenting with kind of like shorter, different lengths of this format. The 30-minute episode actually did really well. I compared it to the hour-long episodes, and it didn't perform like amazingly better, but it was better. And ultimately, I just want to get as many eyes and ears on these talented, underrated, and overlooked artists as possible. So with that in mind, comment, like the video, anything you can do to push it in the algorithm, share it with others who might be interested. Support me on Patreon, too, to make me so I'm not beholden to the ad revenue at this point. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.